Hello and welcome to Real Estate Pros in the Know. This is your host, Stephen Etzel, coming from the Greater Louisville Association of Realtors. I'm here today with Glynn Mosier, a local home warranty rep, and he's here to explain why buyers and sellers need a home warranty. Thank you, Glynn, for stopping by.
Hey, Stephen, thanks for having me out here, man. It's going to be great.
Hey, one of the biggest questions I get about home warranties is why should a buyer or a homeowner get a home warranty?
That's a great question, and I get asked that quite a bit. And honestly, we're here to mitigate those costs that those homeowners are going to have. A lot of these first-time home buyers are sinking every dollar they have into buying their dream home. And what we don't want is that to become a nightmare for them, and their AC go down, they can't replace it, or issue with their electrical, something like that. So we mitigate those costs to make it more affordable for them. And now, we'll tell you, not all home warranties are created equal. There's all different nuances, so you got to find what best fits you and your family's needs, and that's really important.
What exactly do home warranties cover?
Great question. So there's most home warranties, you're going to have 3 different plans, and every plan as you go up a level is going to cover a little bit more. Now, I will tell you, based off my experience and my understanding of most home warranty companies, going to the base plan is never a good option because you're getting the bare bones of coverage, and when you're buying that home, you want the best coverage you possibly can. So middle grade plan is usually the best way to go.
All right, so what would bare bones be?
So your bare bones, you're just going to have your electrical systems taken care of, your HVAC, and your plumbing is really going to be the main thing you're going to have covered. They're not going to cover like your faucets, shower heads, and things of that nature.
So basically major issues.
The major issues, but it's nice to be able to have it where if you have a dripping faucet, you can call your warranty, have them come out, either repair or replace that faucet.
So what appliances does it actually cover or maintain?
So we can do the microwave, the stove, and the dishwasher, which is huge. Now, the refrigerator is always an add-on in most cases. Unless you go to the top plan, then that's automatically built into that one, and washer and dryer. And I would honestly tell you, I tell every one of my buyers this, if it's not located in the foundation of the home when you're buying the house, then it's not covered.
That's good advice, because I get a question a lot about water heaters.
Right.
So water heaters would not be covered,
so water heaters,
would it be covered?
They would be covered because they're already in the home.
Okay.
But like your washer and dryer, most people, the seller takes their washer and dryer and the refrigerator with them. And then the buyer is bringing in their own.
Okay.
Because it wasn't located there at the time of closing, your warranty does not cover that because it wasn't part of the inspection report and things of that nature. So it's nice to know that because you don't want to buy coverage that you don't need.
Absolutely.
And that's important.
How about, can you extend these warranties, or is it just for a certain period of time? Are there options?
Yeah, so basically the first year is what, in most cases, your seller's going to be paying for that. It's negotiated with the contract with your amazing realtor. Whoever your realtor is, they know best, and they'll put a dollar amount in there to cover you for that first year. After that, it is up to you if you want to renew that. The warranty company will reach out and say, hey, we can renew you for the next year at this amount, and you can choose to take it or not. It's up to you.
Now, are home warranties just for buyers, or can they also be for sellers?
They can be for sellers. They can be for people who are currently living in a home and they're just wanting some type of protection. They can even partake in a home warranty. But sellers is nice too, because what you'll find is they'll be selling their house. They're going to take every dollar that they're taking for the proceeds to buy their new home. What happened if something mechanically breaks and they're spending $8 to $10 grand on, like, say, HVAC? Now that nest egg that they had to buy a new home is gone. Now, what are you going to do? You're stuck back in your house until you build that nest egg back up.
So during the listing period, I can buy a home warranty.
Yep.
But what would happen? I get this question an awful lot. What would happen if something breaks during the listing period? Does the home warranty company cover any of this stuff, or do you just...
Great question. So most of your, in this area, in DFW, most of all the home warranties have a free listing coverage, which is great. So you can get that put in place, and let's say something happens. Back right burner on the stove stops working, and you need somebody to fix it. That can be covered by your warranty.
So during the listing period, let's just say, for example, my AC, there's something wrong with it. I go get an inspection. The buyer gets an inspection before they purchase the property. If it's under the home warranty product and the AC goes bad during that listing, would that cover it? That seems to be one of our biggest expenses.
If it is, let's just say hypothetically, if you were to list a house today and then call tomorrow because your HVAC is out, that's opening up to some pre-existing conditions. So if you've been having issues, we have seen people in the past that had an issue with a house. They decided to get a warranty on it to try to get something repaired. But you just got to be aware that if that was there beforehand, then it might not
Pre-existing.
be covered. Right, pre-existing. Okay. Before the date of the contract.
All right, which leads me to ask you this. Is there a best way to actually maintain your appliances?
Yeah.
You got some really good tips?
Right, because that takes away a lot of the
maintained?
pre-existing.
Absolutely.
And the biggest pre-existing that I've ran into is on your HVAC. I'm an ex-HVAC guy myself, so I love talking about this topic. Filters, first and foremost, must be changed on a regular basis. Don't go out and buy the most expensive.
Define regular.
So most of them don't go over 3 months.
Okay.
So you got thicker, filters nowadays that can go 3 month range. But if you're doing construction on your home or something like that, like a remodel, change it faster. Because if that filter gets clogged, what's going to do is suffocate your unit, cause it to work harder, then it's going to go out. Then you're going to be stuck with a huge bill that you don't want to be stuck with.
Yeah,
because
they
maintaining
get expensive.
the filters are a big part. And make sure that one is in the unit. I've actually seen it when I was doing HVAC. We walk in, hey, when's the last time you changed your filter? Oh, I have a filter. And all that dirt was collecting on the coil and basically concreted into that coil. The only thing we could do was actually replace the coil at that time.
And those are expensive too.
And those are very expensive. So, and it all can be fixed by just changing your filter. And then on appliances, the biggest one you see is on your refrigerator. Most people don't even think about this. Airflow is key. Pull that refrigerator out, and on the back, there's actually a little coil, just like your AC unit. It's a closed little loop system, but it collects everything back there. So if you take a vacuum and clean that out every so often, your refrigerator will be more efficient and it'll last longer.
I hear the same thing with washers and dryers.
Yep.
I just want to clean out the lint vents and so forth.
Especially if you have the lint trap that goes all the way through the roof, that collects a lot of debris. And if that stops up, one, it'll cause your dryer not to dry your clothes, and two, it will end up failing.
It can actually cause fire.
Right, exactly. It's like one of the biggest leading causes of fires in a home.
Wow. So just standard basic maintenance can eliminate a lot of expenses.
Yep. And even with HVAC, you can have a contractor come in and do twice-a-year tune-ups. People laugh at us because we always tell them you need to spray off your outdoor unit. And like, why do I need to do that? I'm not watering it. Why do I need to do that? Well, because there's so much suction created against those coils that it traps debris, whether you're mowing, dirt, or anything like that, and it will destroy the unit.
Speaking of expenses when it comes to AC,
yes,
there's been a rumor going around. Let's see if we can find out if this is true or not.
Okay.
The big Freon rumor.
Yes. Yeah, the one that's going to end the world.
The one, yeah, the apocalypse of the Freon.
And it's not that. I mean, let's just get down to brass tacks. Yes, they are phasing out Freon. At the end of this year, it is no longer going to be made. But here's the deal. They're making 4.4 million pounds this year alone.
Wow.
And we thought there would be a lack of parts for R22. Well, what you're finding is people are automatically just jumping into 410A. So you're having less consumers with R22 units. I mean, there's still quite a few, but 4.4 should last us, I feel comfortable saying, through next year pretty easily. But here's what's great about that. We can actually recover the refrigerant. All AC companies are required by EPA to recover and recycle the refrigerant. So when they recycle, you can actually buy recycled R22 refrigerant.
Oh, that's good.
And there's also alternatives to that, to where you can buy 407. You just got to clean the line set and all that out, and you can still run the same unit without having to replace the whole thing.
I was going to ask you, do you have to replace any kind of parts to adjust for that, or?
Nope. So your compressor can actually run 407, or R22. They run close, same pressures. But what you'll find is if that compressor goes out, what people are doing to save some money, take that compressor out, put a new compressor in, and then instead of replacing the whole thing, flush the system out, and then put 407 in it and let it run.
So
and it works really good in the DFW area.
Oh, still run efficiently, and
right.
Bill doesn't go up, or the
see
horrible nightmares that you hear.
I have, with all the feedback that I've received out there, none of it's been a negative feedback. So
that's good.
But some of your home warranties actually will turn around, and this is where you get to know your coverage. And if the outdoor unit goes out, though, with a home warranty, The new 410A operates at 450 psi versus 300 psi, so that's why you have to replace an outdoor unit and an indoor unit together. So it's nice knowing that if you have, but based on your coverage, will the home warranty do both, or will they just do one? You leave you the rest. So look into your specific choice of warranty to find out what the coverage looks like.
Of course, you want them both replaced at the same time.
Right,
so
exactly. It saves you
okay.
even more money there, because if you do a coil on your own, it's about $2,500.
Wow.
On average.
Well, to wrap everything up, what are the 3 points that you'd want to express the most of?
The most, I would say, a home warranty is always worth it, especially if your seller is paying for the first year. It's beneficial. You don't know what was done in that house. You have an inspection report, which is great, but you don't want to be stuck with a bill that you can't afford. So a warranty is definitely worth when you're buying a house. If you have an investment house, it's also worth it as well.
I was going to say, even for rentals.
Yes. And even selling the home. I mean, the market that we're getting into right now, it's beneficial for all parties involved. It really, truly is. Maintenance on a house is key. You know, I think too many times we get in our house, we get comfortable, we don't do anything with it, but then we go to sell it, and we're spending more money at that time to make it pretty so we can sell it off. Take the time from day one, changing those filters, keeping the dust down, cleaning the filters out, doing the vacuuming of the refrigerator. Everything in your house is going to last a lot longer, and financially it'll be more beneficial to you too, because you don't want that big hits in your pocketbook.
Definitely better proactive than reactive.
Right, correct. And then last, don't be afraid with the Freon phase out. There's plenty of information out there that you have. Yes, HVAC is probably one of the most expensive things on the house, and I'll tell you right now, as a homeowner, if you're not too sure and you've never had maintenance on your house, you can actually go outside, look at the condensing unit, which is located outside. There's a little model number, serial number. And if you go down a little bit, let's say factory charged with. And right there in that section, it'll say R22 or 410A. So you can be more empowered as a homeowner to know, hey, yeah, I have this type of system, and I need to be aware of that moving forward. And it's nice to have that. But know that it's not just because it's R22, those things were built to last. So it could go another 10 years if you maintain it properly.
So, big sigh.
Yes.
Everything's going to be
it's not going to be the end of it. We're still going to have our nice cold AC in Texas.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Glynn.
My pleasure.
Thank you for all the great tips. Thank you for giving us some great ideas to maintain our properties as well. So hopefully, not that we don't want to buy the home warranty, that we don't need to use the home warranty.
Right. It's better to have it and not use it versus, oh man, I wish I would have had that. In hindsight's 2020, right?
That's exactly right.
So,
well, thank you again, Glynn.
My pleasure.
And I want to thank everybody else for tuning in to Pros in the Know. This is Stephen Etzel from the Greater Louisville Association of Realtors.